And welcome back to the podcast. I am glad that you are here listening. We're up to 179, episode 179. Wow, wow. Okay, so today we're talking about from launch mode to living mode because if you're an avid listener of this podcast, you will know that over the last week gone, I have opened up the doors to Magnetic Marketing Formula, my signature course. And I'm really excited we start this week. So there is a bunch of awesome business owners coming in to learn with me for 8 weeks on how to grow their business very strategically, create a plan, and set their foundations up so that next year, so we are close to 2026, they will hit the ground running and will show up where people are searching, and especially in the health space. Now, we all know that is the best, most absolute awesome time to press a reset button for our health and wellness. And there is no better time as a business to be ready for all of the influx of people who are setting those New Year's resolutions when it comes to their health, because that's what we do. And speaking of that, so this episode is from launch mode to living mode, and I will talk to you about that in a minute. But I want to share where I am at the moment. So, last week, when doors closed to Magnetic Marketing Formula, I had already pre-arranged the most epic facial. So, one of my clients actually, she did the Magnetic Marketing Formula last November, when doors opened for the first time. And she's been a long-term client of mine. Her name is Joyce, and she runs a business called the Face Yoga Coach. So she is the Face Yoga Coach. And I've had her on the podcast before, but I had booked in a facial with her on Friday. And let me tell you, she is a absolute goddess when it comes to skin and skin health and natural glow and just face manipulation and massage and just everything to help your face pop. She knows so much about face and face muscles and face everything. And she's just a wealth of information. So it was so good. I actually fell asleep, which I don't know if you do that when you have a facial, but I did fall asleep. And it was the most beautiful up level I could have given myself after such a great end to my course. So we're welcoming in a few new people, which I'm really happy about. And it just having that beautiful injection of wellness for me was the best thing I could have done. Now, I left looking about 10 years younger, I think. And if you're looking for a solution that is not injectables, then, I think she is definitely the person to see to give you your natural glow back. And she's not paying me to say this. Her work, she's like, it's magic. Anyway, so I did that last week and it felt amazing to lean in and take care of myself. And I have officially gone back to the gym. So I've been going the last few weeks, but I just signed up properly. So there's a new program that I'm doing at the gym, and it's with a group, and it's just so good. And oh my goodness, can I tell you right now, my hamstrings are dead. They are hurting so much, but I know it's okay. I can push through. And then the third thing that I wanted to talk to you is about on Monday. So, as this episode comes out, it'll be Tuesday, but I am starting a gut health reset. So, a little bit of a detox. Now, it's all food based, so it's nothing to do with any kind of special potion or anything like that. It's all food. And if you've heard of the nutritionist Sarah Di Lorenzo, she's got a couple of books, and I'm going to be doing one of them. So, today's actually the first day. So, the podcast is being recorded a little bit late this week, but I have a massive headache because I haven't had any coffee. But I know that, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And I just, not for any particular reason, I just know that I just want to have a little reset. And I try and do this once a year. So it's a 4 week program. I'll do the first week, see how we go. Because obviously, I have a young family and my husband's actually doing it with me. So that makes it so much easier, but no coffee. So this morning I had a ginger immune boost shot. And that I make everything myself, and that was like just disgusting, but it was so like wow in your mouth. And then I had a smoothie which had carrot, beetroot, parsley, coconut water, a little bit of honey. What else did it have? An apple. It was disgusting again. It wasn't like the normal smoothies that I make because I usually put like almond milk and a bit more fruit. But yeah, I drank it. And I've had a handful of nuts already. So anyway, just like flick me a message in the DMs to let me know if you've done anything like this and how you felt. I've done this before, so I know what to expect. And I know, oh my goodness, like combined with the facial and then, from the inside out, I know that your skin absolutely glows after a detox like this, and your eyes are so bright, and it's just so good for you. So, I am a little bit of the way in. I will update you next week, but so far, so good. Anyway, yeah, so the last few weeks have been huge, like big energy, big emotions, big goals, launching my course, opening doors, talking with so many of you. And honestly, it's a ride. And so that's why I wanted to talk to you today about from launching mode to living mode and then keeping your momentum alive, right? So there's adrenaline, there's anticipation, there's lots of excitement and a lot of nerves as well, all wrapped together. And then the campaign ends and then doors close and your inbox quieten down and then you go from like being in full throttle to like what now. So today's episode is more of a heart to heart about the moments and how you shift out of launch mode and into living mode without losing the momentum that you've built, because growth doesn't happen in just the peaks. And we all know that growth happens in between. So, what does launch mode do to our brains? So, when we're in launch mode, everything sharpens. Every piece of content has purpose. Every conversation that you have builds excitement, and everything feels like the needle is moving. And then there's a lot of urgency, obviously, because it is timely. And the reason that I do that is because then I can focus on my clients after that and I can focus on the course. Okay. Because if you're like in launch mode all year round, it just doesn't work. Okay. Your energy needs to go and flow. And it's like sprinting with a purpose. And, I think that your brain can get a little bit addicted to that being so intense. But when the buzz drops, we can think that there's something wrong and there's not. And so that's why it's nice to test your mindset when you launch, but and then, give yourself calm after that, which is what I did. And I think that afterwards, there is less external validation that's required, less noise, less visible winning, because it's not always like that. And then your brain whispers to you, did it even matter? Shouldn't more be happening? Am I falling behind already? And I think that's what causes a lot of people to crash and think, I can't do this anymore. But not the launch, more what comes after. And the momentum, I think, isn't built in the loudest moments. It's built in the follow through. Okay, so that's where living mode comes into play. Now, living mode, I think for me, is the rhythm that sustains your business long after the campaign of launch ends and settles. And it's the habits, it's your presence, it's your persistence and consistency that continues to create the results that are more consistent over time. And then the growth lives in you continuing to show up, continuing to still serve people like you have something to prove, But you are more in nurture mode, okay? And you are talking about what you do in a way that feels less urgent. And then you're now replacing, I guess, the dirt, so to speak, and putting in new seeds and then watering it and watering it and watering it, and it'll grow. And that's what happens. So the more you put into your business in a consistent way, okay, the longer your business will have growth. Okay. And then I think launch mode is the plants, right? Whereas living mode, you're watering them. Okay. Launch mode is where you're picking them all off. Living mode is where you're watering them. And I think just because the energy changes, it doesn't mean that the momentum is gone. It's far from it. I think for me, I don't mind launching. I just know that, right now it is hard because I've got three little humans and they require a lot from me, but it doesn't mean it just changes and shifts. And I think it's super fun. And then it's also super fun to, I think, see what you're made of and really push yourself. But then it's like, okay, now it's nurture mode, right? Where you nurture yourself. So hence me getting a facial, starting this detox, going back to the gym. I've always exercised, running and everything. You would have seen me do that and talk about that a lot, and do my own weights at home. But now I'm going to up the ante a bit. And it's nice for me to be in a physical community, which I love. So that's what I do. And so I think that the nurture mode is important. Okay. And so what I'm practicing right now, so this will be a bit more behind the scenes. In this moment with you, I'm choosing staying visible, obviously. I'm choosing to stay curious. So I'm still learning. I'm still up leveling. I'm still upskilling. Staying committed because I love what I do. And I genuinely believe that when you love what you do, it doesn't have to feel like work, and it doesn't for me. And I think that's why I can keep showing up and keep staying consistent. A lot of people say to me, where do you get all your energy from? How do you do it? You've got young children, you've got like a home to run. Everyone needs everything from you. And the answer is it never feels like work. Okay. And I think that is really important. And if you can find that sweet spot for yourself, I think that's the magic right there. And I think for to stay committed for me and keep building relationships. Okay. And I think it's having trust in myself that what I've created is needed and what I do is needed and my voice is here to serve. And I think I'm letting the quiet feel like it's all possibility, all right, instead of panic. And I think for me, it is mostly around sustainable success. It's never going to be sprints alone because I can't work like that. And I don't like to work like that. I think sustainable success is great. And, a lot of my work as well comes from word of mouth. And that really tells me that I've got something beautiful going on and that what I have to say matters. And I will never, ever lose sight of that because that is what's really important. So I think that, living mode is leadership and it's longevity. Okay. So I think you can show up even when the spotlight of launch isn't on you. Okay. It is where you prove to yourself who you actually are. And I already know this because I've done this a lot of times, but it's such a lovely, lovely mix. And I think if you're a health brand, out there who recently launched something, or you're building towards something, or you're in a season where you're rebuilding how you're showing up because you've grown, but your business has stayed the same, stay in the room, keep your eyes forward, keep your heart open, keep moving forward. Even if it feels like you're making tiny steps, it's still something. Your audience is watching you. They will always be watching you, because they're not just interested in your success, they're interested in your journey and they're interested in what's in it for them and how you can help them. Okay, so keep being you. And I just want to say thanks for listening today. Thanks for listening to my little journey at the beginning. I think this episode was definitely supposed to be a reminder that your momentum is there. Don't let it disappear. Just change its shape. And if you've loved this conversation, I'd be so grateful if you could share it with a friend or take a quick moment to rate the show. It makes a massive difference and it helps this podcast get in the hands of more health brands to be able to find these conversations and move the needle in their business. I look forward to seeing you next week, guys, and have a wonderful rest of the day wherever you are. Keep staying healthy and wholesome and beautiful on the inside. Bye.